Hey, what is going on, guys? It's LittleBigness here, and I am here to bring you our team builder for week 1 of Season 5 of the UPA. We're going up against Lucas, a really good friend of mine, the coach at the Greenlake Goodras. You can see his team right below me. He's got Excadrill, Goodra, Galvantula, Rotom-H, Skuntank, Perugly, Megalopunny, Hippowdon, Slowbro, Rotom-H, Regirock, and Sock. A lot of people see him as the worst team in the league right now because, you know, he got a bit too much bulk that he really didn't need, and his offensive presence really isn't there. And then also, he does have a weird thing where he has a Sand Core with a Mega Abomasnow. It doesn't make too much sense, but anyway, I'm not going to take it lightly. Lucas has beat me before with a Sand Core, so I have beat Lucas more than he's beat me, but you can never let your guard go down. So we're going to get right into the team here. I do have a majority of the Cresselia right here. It's packing the leftovers. Got Psyshock, Shadow Ball, Thunder Wave, and Ice Beam. It may be weird to see 3 attacks on Cresselia, but I really only wanted Psyshock, Shadow Ball, and Thunder Wave at first. And then, or no, Psyshock, Ice Beam, and Thunder Wave at first. But then I realized I couldn't touch Slowbro, so I was like, I gotta put Shadow Ball on here. And Thunder Wave's there to slow down threats, you know. And I didn't really need a 4th move. I was thinking about running Protect just to stall out Sandturn, so I was like, may as well throw Shadow Ball on there. There's no real point not to. And this thing is built to check Excadrill mainly on the offensive side, even though it can check things like Sock. Knockoff doesn't even do too much to this thing. I can check Perugly. It can check a physical Goodra. It can check a physical Mega Abomasnow. I can 1v1 a Hippowdon with this thing. I can 1v1 a Regirock. All that good stuff. So, as long as they don't have Toxic, of course. But yeah, Cresselia, it was mainly there to check the Excadrill. Speed investment is there to make sure I can outspeed an 8-speed Rotom-H. Just in case, you know, maybe I'll be in a matchup with it. Hit it with a Psyshock, kill it. I only get 2 hit KO'd by a +2 X Scissor from Excadrill, and I will be able to have 2 Sand Turns after that too. So that's why I've got that investment there for the defense. Next we have Godzilla, our Haxorus, and this is what I'm looking at as the main sweeper. It's a Life Orb set, pretty standard Dragon Dance. His real check to this thing is a Rotom-H. I'm expecting that to come, and I need to bring Poison Jab. If he runs Kevia Berry, I can live a Moonblast fairly comfortably, so I'm not really too worried about that. So, this thing, I'm really going to look for it to set up. It can set up on quite a few things, and it can basically run through his team, especially if I get 2 Dragon Dances, which is very possible. I've got support to be able to let it set up. I've got some Switch Initiative and stuff like that. This thing is what I'm looking at as the main sweeper, since he doesn't really have an amazing check to this thing. He really doesn't, and it destroys him. Abomasnow Ice Shards are a bit worrisome for this thing, but that's about it. Next we have Snappy, our Blastoise, and it's got Fake Out, Scald, Rapid Spin, Protect. Pretty standard Blastoise spread. Not the moves, though. Fake Out and Protect, people are like, what the hell are you doing, Bigness? And I say that I am stalling out Sand Turns. Fake Out and Protect will be able to stall out Sand Turns. His Excadrill will be out. His Excadrill can 2-hit KO me if it's an Adamant Life Orb set. But if I'm firing off that Scald, things can happen. And also, if I'm stalling out Sand Turns, I can get them all out of there, have no Sand Turns be there, and then also get enough recovery to where I'll be able to be 3-hit KO'd by the Excadrill Earthquake. So this Blastoise set may be a weird one. Scalds can hit things like Hippowdon. It can hit Rotom-H, even though I'm maybe worried about Rotom-H hitting me. But yeah, it can deal with Regirock pretty well as well. I like Snappy here, and I really looked at his team, and I was like, I need to bring Rapid Spin. He's got 3 Rock Setters and a Web Setter, and to me, that says, let's bring a Rapid Spinner just in case, because Webs could ruin my team, ruin all my speed investment. What else could Web? And then Rocks, I mean, they're just annoying in the first place. So next we have Pillow Pet, or Worzicott, and it's got Encore, Taunt, U-Turn, and Giga Drain. It's kind of a weird offensive set that has a lot of bulk with it. And it's just there to set the pace for the rest of the team. It was something that I kind of came up with, like, yo, his team gets a lot of his tanks get destroyed by this thing, except for Goodra. That's really the only thing that doesn't. That's the only one that I can't deal with. But if I'm taunting or encoring things, ooh, it's gonna be fun. I considered running a Subseed set on this thing, but I was like, a bit too much hits me a bit too hard. I don't really want to do that. Plus, Sand will just damage me anyway. I've got U-turn for that switch initiative in case the Goodra does want to come in, which should be his primary switch into this thing. If he brings out, if he has Goodra still alive and this thing's out, I'm probably clicking U-turn. Nothing can really touch this thing once all of his tanks are out, though. So I'm really happy with this Worzicott set. I think it can do a lot of work. Next, we have Rousey, our Megalopunny, and it's got Fake Out, High Jump Kick, Return, and Toxic. It's got a kind of weird spread, and I'll explain it. Basically, with this speed, I'm able to outspeed everything on his team, provided webs aren't there, besides a Sand Rush Drill in the sand. Probably is his fast member in terms of base speed. That's why I went with the speed investment. If he wants to run a Scarf, it outspeed this thing. If he wants to run, you know, if he has Excadrill in the sand, then, you know, it's whatever. Because I have 160 investment in defense, and that allows me to live an Excadrill Adamant Life Orb Earthquake from max attack, and then I can high jump kick it, and I can still live a sand turn after that. People may be like, why the hell do you have Toxic on here, Bigness? And my response to that is, he's going to be switching into Slowbro when I've got this thing out. That's his check, and if I Toxic that thing, that is huge. If I weaken Slowbro with a Toxic, oh man. Like, Slowbro and Hippowdon are the two things I really need to weaken for my Haxorus to be able to sweep. Regirock in a sense too, but he won't be switching Regirock in this thing anyway. If he does, then it's going to get Toxic too. Or High Jump Kicked into Oblivion. So, Lopunny, it's a very offensive threat here, and it can put in a lot of work for sure. Megalopunny is a beast. Next, we have iRocker Dusclops, and this is just a general defensive set, really, and I've got the investment to where I can live Earthquakes pretty comfortably from Excadrill, knock off from Sock pretty comfortably, in case I need to. I don't want to get knocked off at all. I'm not going to knock off weak, in fact, because I do have, excuse me, I have Whimsicott and Megalopunny, and those things can just eat up a knockoff. Like, Whimsicott's my best check to Sock. But yeah, Will-Wisp there, I can burn a lot of good things. If I burn the Excadrill, if I burn the Goodra, if I burn her Ugly, Mega Abomasnow, Sock, Skuntank, Regirock, all that good stuff, it's going to be good for me. Now I've got Pain Split because that's my only form of recovery. Nightshade just so I can put out some damage just in case I need to. And then Memento is there because if I get low, I'm going to want a Memento and let my Haxorus set up immediately. That's the plan with that, because then with that, Haxorus should be able to get +2. And if not, it's going to be living an Ice Shard from Mega Abomasnow just fine, and I'll hit it hard. So, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace!